Hello, and welcome to the Real AI Now podcast, brought to you by Two Impulse. My name is Paulo Nunes. I'm going to be one of your hosts in this podcast. What is this podcast about? In this podcast, we'll discuss topics around real business applications of AI and how the future may look like. We'll talk about applications of AI in business, what is possible today, what are the low-hanging fruits, and what companies need to do to be able to use AI with impact. It's not about marketing in fancy terms. It's about real AI. We know there is lots of hype about AI and not enough people talking about realistic things. So how will the podcast work? It's going to be usually an informal one-on-one conversation. We'll invite partners, customers, and colleagues to discuss these topics with us. They will bring their unique perspective to the conversation and will make the conversation even more interesting. Every now and then, we may also prepare a few special episodes for you that go beyond one-on-one and have a roundtable with several people. We'll also have discussions between us at the Two Impulse team where we talk about our experience. We'll try to make it so that everyone can follow the conversation. It's not going to be too technical. So if you're not familiar with AI, don't worry, you will get it. If you already have some understanding or even a lot of knowledge of AI, you'll feel right at home. So why should you listen to us? Myself, I have 20 years experience working with AI and machine learning. I studied computer science and did a master's in machine learning. It was the beginning of the internet. Then I worked 10 years in the space industry with data in AI for the European Space Agency and the European Southern Observatory. There, I worked in missions like the Rosetta mission, the Hubble Space Telescope, Archive, and the Very Large Telescope, which is the largest observatory in the world. After that, I spent 5 years in the insurance industry applying AI to business. And I used my experience in data and AI to help the insurance business applying this kind of technologies and becoming data-driven. So I started Two Impulse in 2016 with a couple of co-founders. And at Two Impulse, we help companies transform and make an impact with data and AI. So if these are interesting topics for you, stay tuned for our next episode.